Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and before we get started on today's episode, I want to say go to the platform wherever you listen to podcasts, however you get podcasts. I want you to go. I want you to subscribe, so that way you can get the daily shows, the bonus episodes. You'll be the first one to receive all this goodness that we have to offer. Also, go to the same place and give us 5 stars, because we all know you love this podcast, all right? Once again, thanks in advance. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is episode 154 of the universally loved, world-famous podcast, also known as Online Marketing Moves. We are coming to you live today from the big state of Texas. You know, people from Texas, the first thing they like to tell you, not all of them, everybody in Texas is not annoying, but a good majority of them are. They like to tell you they have a Texas size something or another attitude, Texas size love, Texas size whatever. You know, they like to bring that up. It's very strange. You know, people that were born in Texas, lived in Texas, grew up in Texas, they're kind of annoying. Just like people born and raised in New York City and LA. Those are 3 places, you know, 1 state and then 2 areas. They're all annoying when it comes to that, because, you know, I live in Atlanta and people love to tell you, they say, oh, I'm not from here, I'm from New York, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh boy. And it's like, if New York is so great, why don't you go back? You know what I mean? Like, if it's so great. Like, I was born in Missouri, you know, I was raised in Missouri. You know, Missouri is aight. I mean, you know, of course, my parents still live there, my brother. That's the only reason why I go back. But, you know, to me, I'm like, I'm from Georgia now, you know. If Missouri was so great, Chief, I would still be there, you know. Well, for Missouri is a great place, but it wasn't for me. So if Missouri was a great place for me, I'd still be there, but it wasn't. So I moved on. Sometimes people don't understand how to move on. People don't understand how to get over themselves. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is when you become successful in your business, which you will be, when you become successful in whatever you want, whenever you want to be, don't go back, don't be bitter, don't be angry at people that, you know, quote unquote, did you wrong, did you dirty, they didn't believe in you. Because as we talked about before on this podcast, nobody's really going to believe in you until you make things happen for yourself. All right? So don't be one of these people, you know, that get success and then they want to try to be, you know, kind of a shithead. And they're like, oh, no, you're not going to be around me because you didn't believe in me, blah, 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 blah. That's a very immature, that's a big sign of immaturity. You know, just because they didn't believe in you or they didn't know, you know, because for some reason people love, and this has become a thing that I see a lot. You know, people, they start getting success, and the first thing they want to say, all the haters, blah, 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 nobody believed in me, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, who really gives a F? Okay? Like, nobody cares, man. Nobody cares, you know. You have success, that's great. Be successful, but also at the same time, move on, man. Live in the present moment, you know. Don't think about, oh, this person, that person, the other person, you know. It's not a big deal. Because nobody's going to care about, you know, the thing that you're doing. But who's going to care the most? You, of course, you know. You, maybe your spouse, maybe your children, things of that nature. But the outside world, listen. And it's not a big deal. That's what people have to understand. That's what people have to get over. You know, this podcast, you know, I record every day. And I record some episodes, people download faster than they do others. And for me, it's not a big deal, you know. Sometimes I might go back, you know, maybe it's 4 or 5 hours later, I go, oh, let me see if anybody downloaded. And it might be one person. downloaded it. I'm not sitting here thinking, F everybody, F the world, you know. This, that, and the other, you know. Blah, 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 you know. Why would I be bitter? Why would I be angry? Why would I be upset with, you know, people that don't know that this podcast is great and that this podcast is going on, you know. As I told you before, we talked about this before. Most people are sheepish. Most people follow trends. Most people don't start trends. Most people follow trends. They're not going to jump on the train early. They're not going to see the vision early, you know. Everybody's not going to be like, oh, I believe in Elon Musk and Tesla, you know. Everybody's not going to be that. They're going to wait until, you know, they're going to be the last ones on the train, okay? Okay? And that's okay, you know. So don't sit here when you become successful. When you become successful, becoming a success doesn't mean you have to become a bitter pill, you know. You just be successful and you go, you know, I believed in myself, I believed in my dream, I kept it going. Because as we talked about, everybody's not going to jump on board. Everybody's not going to come along in the first, you know. 1 million downloads ain't going to happen in the first week, you know. 1 million downloads won't happen, you know, in the 4th, the 5th month, 6th month, 7th month. You got to just keep the thing going. Keep it going. Whatever you're doing, just keep it going. Keep it going. Keep making the content. Keep making the content. People will find you. People will find you. People will like it. Everybody's not going to like you. And that's okay, too. But you don't have to be bitter. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be upset. You know, when you find success, you don't have to be thinking, oh, the haters, you know, that's, you know, don't be that person. It's very childlike, you know. It's very childlike. I see a guy, he does clothes, you know. And that's great. You know, I went to high school with him. I said, oh, look at him doing clothes, you know. And every post, I see him on the Facebook. And at least once a month, everybody doubted me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, no, bro, I ain't seen you in 20 years. No, who cares? Like, bro, just make them shirts, bro. Make them shirts, produce the shirts, sell the shirts, you know, get a website, do whatever you gotta do. But at the end of the day, all this, you know, all my haters, you know, blah, 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 blah. Chief, nobody cares. Nobody. It's okay. But nobody cares about what you got going on but you. And maybe a couple loved ones. But don't be bitter when you get success. Because it's what's the point? You know, the point of you trying to start a successful business is to make yourself happy, you know. You're not worried about the outside world. You're not worried about the noise on the outside. All you can do is try to please yourself. And once if you're pleased with your business, if you're pleased with everything you got going on, then great. But don't worry about, you know, all these people doubted me, blah, 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 blah. Listen, nobody, and I'm here to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, nobody doubted you. Nobody probably was thinking, oh, I can't believe Kurt over here. He failed. Kurt over here don't got nothing going on. Nobody's saying that. I had a cousin. He told me one time, he said, we had a discussion. I said, hey, man, how come I don't see you at the family reunion, you know? And he said, oh, man, you know, people don't like me. You know, I'm the black sheep of the family. I said, black sheep of the family? When did you get that title? I said, what? And he was like, yeah, man, I'm the black sheep of the family, you know. People don't like me. I'm thinking, you know, this guy, he didn't come to like 4 reunions in a row. And this is the guy's honest truth. I think in those 4 years, nobody mentioned his name. Nobody brought him up. Nobody ever said a word about him. But in his mind, for some reason, he done cooked up this whole scenario. That's what it is. That's what most people do. They cook up all these scenarios. This guy in his head cooked up a whole scenario that everybody was against him. But really, nobody... It's not that people didn't care. I mean, you know, of course we all love them and everything. But it's like, buddy, you're there or you're not. nobody really, you know, I mean, I'd like to see you there, but nobody thinks of you in that way. Nobody's thinking about you in that manner, you know. Like, you're a good guy, but you are causing your own drama. You just want some attention, or you just want, I don't know what you got going on in your head, you know, but you got to get over yourself, because nobody's thinking about you, you know. So that's how it is, you know. Don't be, because unfortunately, not unfortunately, but in reality, I know a lot of people have this, and we all do it sometimes. We all cook up these scenarios in our head. Nobody believed in me, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, nobody cares. No, it's not that they don't. I mean, when I say nobody cares, it's like nobody cares about the ideas that you have in your head. They care about you as a person, don't get me wrong, you know. But the ideas that you have in your head, how in the hell do people know about the ideas in your head if you don't put them, if you don't start whatever you're trying to do? Who's going to know about these ideas, you know? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, people, let's all get over ourselves a little bit. Don't be bitter, don't be upset, don't be angry because nobody believes in the idea that nobody ever knew that you had, you know. So let's all get over ourselves just a little bit. All right. So when you get success, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But what I want you to do, when you get successful in your business, when you get successful in whatever you want to do, please do me a favor. If you listen to this podcast, our podcast. Even if you just listen to this one episode, when you gain success, please do me a favor. Think about your friend. Think about your guy. Think about old Tony Tone. Before you post that, nobody believed in me, everybody doubted me, I had all these haters. Remember, and I mean this with all the love and sincerity in the world. Nobody cares about your idea, okay? So I'm just here. I'm just a messenger, okay? Nobody cares about your idea because probably nobody knew about your idea, all right? You know, I can't sit here, you know, I would look like an effing idiot if I went on Facebook or something like that and told all my family members and friends that I have on the Facebook, man, everybody doubted me. I didn't tell a soul for about 6 weeks, 2 months that I had a podcast. And I still haven't told, 75, 90% of my family members, because I don't care what they think. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna get on here and go, oh man, F them, they doubted me. What the hell? They ain't nothing to doubt because they don't even know what's going on. So I mean, I would look like a complete idiot, wouldn't I? So when I get these when these millions and millions of downloads start pouring in, say in the next year or two, I'm not gonna be when the podcast becomes more successful than what it is now, because hey, and you and I both know, just starting off, you're already the success. Hey, you're ahead of the curve, you're ahead of the curve already. So congrats. But when this podcast gets to a level that's ridiculous, I'm not gonna sit here and chastise anybody and say, oh man, you doubted me, man, blah blah blah, I'm a success without you, man. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So don't do that. And if you know anybody in your life that they start to get success and you see them make that post, send them a message and say, man, don't do that. Tell them, don't do that. Tell them, please. Be happy. This is another thing, because people love to cook up. People in general like to be sad for some reason. I mean, I ain't a doctor, I ain't a doctor or nothing like that. Maybe I'm a doctor of emotions, but for some reason people like to always come from people react and people generate people, you get more of a reaction out of people when something is negative. So people love to come from a negative place. So I don't want you to be that person. Don't you start making $1 million a month, don't be out here, everybody doubted me. They said I wasn't gonna make it. They said I wasn't gonna do this, do that. And they probably didn't know, and they probably, they care about you, but they didn't care about your idea. So just relax, and it's okay. So that's it. That's it for the podcast. Go out there and be successful, but don't double back and tell us how stupid we were because we didn't believe in you. We didn't even know what you had going on. So just do what you got to do and get on out of here, okay? That's it for the podcast. We'll be back next week with more hard-hitting episodes of the best podcast in 2 galaxies. And as we say every week, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the podcast, And for you damn hater. No, I'm just kidding. No, but for you, click and subscribe so you can get the podcast every day because we come to you every day. 99% of the time, we come to you every day with an episode. And we'll be back tomorrow. And I realize that we're getting close to Christmas. Friday, everybody, guess what? We're doing a podcast, okay? All right? So, brace yourself. So, before you start drinking eggnog with your aunt, as my wife would say. Now, I don't know how you say it, but I say, don't worry, we're going to end this. But, because my wife, she's from New Jersey. She says aunt. I say auntie, because I'm from, that's how I say it. That's how we say it. So, if I have a aunt named Dolly, I say Aunt Dolly, I say auntie or I say Aunt Dolly, And my wife, she would say Aunt Dolly. So, how do you say it? Do you say aunt or do you say aunts? Let me know. No, you could let me know, but you probably won't because you don't email me because you are a hater, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, enough about this. We'll be back next week. We will be doing shows all of next week, including Christmas. So stick around, stay tuned, tell a friend to tell a friend. And as always, everybody, peace.